The Galapagos Islands don't have an official mascot, but if they did, it would undoubtedly be the Galapagos tortoise. These prehistoric-looking creatures, which can live over 150 years, have played an integral role in Galapagos history, and the islands were actually named after their saddleback shape. The Galapagos Islands have been exploited for their natural resources ever since they were first discovered, from the pirates of the 17th and 18th century to the whalers of the 19th century. The tortoises were nearly hunted to extinction, numbering around 3,000 in the 1970s. Their slow movement, ample meat, and ability to live for up to a year without food or water made them a perfect food source for seafaring sailors, while invasive species pilfered their eggs. But they were also a key influence on Charles Darwin's theory of evolution, as tortoises from different islands clearly differed in size and appearance, suggesting that they had genetically adapted to their respective environments. Fortunately, conservation efforts launched nearly 40 years ago have proven very effective, and by the year 2000 the tortoise population had risen to over 19,000. We learned more about those efforts at the Charles Darwin Research Station on the island of Santa Cruz, where our Ecoventura guide, Ceci Guerrero, told us how scientists use incubators to control the sex of each egg in their care, turning it warmer to make hot babes and colder to create cool dudes. Once hatched, the baby tortoises are numbered and grouped by age, which made them look like a reptilian NASCAR race waiting to happen. The research station is also home to what's arguably the most famous celebrity in the Galapagos, Lonesome George, who is the last of his Pinta Island tortoise subspecies. George, who's been called the rarest creature in the world, appears on hats, t-shirts, and books. But unfortunately, he doesn't appear interested in mating with any of the hot babes that have been put in his enclosure. In fact, on the day we visited, the only thing George appeared interested in was sleep. He should probably take some tips from the 130-year-old Diego, who was returned from the San Diego Zoo to the Galapagos Islands in the 1970s. At that time, there were just 2 males and 12 females of Diego's Espanola subspecies at the station, but they weren't breeding. Like the Marvin Gaye of the tortoise world, Diego taught the others how to get it on, and ultimately produced around 1,700 offspring, earning him the nickname the Professor. As a result of these efforts, today 10 of the original subspecies of Galapagos tortoises survive in the wild, with thousands of captive-bred juveniles released onto their native islands, and strict laws in place to ensure their protection for future generations. Our group made a visit to Santa Cruz's pastoral Rancho Primicias, where we found dozens of tortoises living in the wild. The farmers in this area have agreed to build their fences high enough off the ground that the tortoises can pass beneath them, allowing these sage-looking creatures to roam freely in what appeared to be an idyllic existence. It's difficult to describe the feeling of being within a few feet of a creature that's 4 times your age and at least twice your size. But the experience was both humbling and heartwarming. Here, in the Galapagos Islands, mankind and animals are learning how to coexist peacefully and sustainably. And the Galapagos tortoise stands tall as a symbol, not just of the Galapagos Islands, but of wildlife conservation efforts all around the world.